Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Rivalz Race Chat. Thank you for your patience. As you know, other than me, these guys have day jobs. Spencer got tied up a bit, and we appreciate all he does. Any guesses of what Spencer does for a day job? That might be a good poll. It's kind of mysterious. Nobody really knows.
Yeah, I don't
Carrying
really
on some
know.
bigs today. As far as I know, he pulls the levers in the Wicked movie because he's the wizard. He's making all the levers pull, and that's what he does during the day. And then he comes and he makes all the
Dude,
levers pull for us. So
you're 62 years old. It's still the Wizard of Oz. Wicked is
well,
for
I'm trying.
kids.
I was
You're
trying
a
to
Wizard of Oz.
modernize it a bit
Yeah, but
because
even I'm not
I'm a
modern, and
wizard.
I'm only 40.
I mean, you have to be really, really old to be a Wizard of Oz kid. I mean, it was 1939, and I know that because if my house was ever decorated with anything as a kid, Mom was a Wizard of Oz freak. So that's what I'm going to inherit from my mom is a ton of Wizard of Oz memorabilia.
It was on TV once a year, wasn't it? Or was it more than once a year? But what was
It's
the
on a lot.
occasion?
It comes on around Christmas usually, a little bit, but Halloween, it's still a big thing around Halloween. I don't know if there's an occasion or not. I'm not that old to remember. I just remember the Wicked Witch scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Fran's
But
never watched
anyways,
the Wizard of Oz? Fran, you've got homework.
what?
You
Fran,
have
you're
to.
almost old enough to be a Wizard of Oz kid, and I don't mean to
He could have seen it
insult
in the
you, but
theaters.
yeah.
Wait
Wow,
a second.
really?
What do you mean? What happened to Ray Morneau?
I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of that. But just to figure that out, okay, so I have a story about this before we bring in Kyle Steckley, who just logged in. My grandma tells the story about being a teenager in 1939 and going to the movies all the time. So picture this, Adam. You get there, and the movie starts in black and white, and then it goes to color for the first color movie you've ever seen. What a mind-blowing experience that must have been when everything turned from black and white to color, and the first movie you see it happening is The Wizard of Oz. Be cool
You
as
know,
shit.
it's funny. It's funny you say that because did you read that piece I sent you about Babe Ruth?
How long ago? I mean, we send stuff
It
30
was
times a
within,
day.
yeah, it was within the last week. Remind me, our guest is here, but I want to talk about that a little bit in terms of things that amaze us. And I'm going to make a strange comparison, but it's the off season, so that's what we do.
All right, let's bring in Kyle Steckley. Kyle, you have a big race coming up this weekend. You got experience there. Tell us about, for the viewers who may be coming from the dirt side, I always say that because we kind of have that lines drawn. How would you explain the series you're racing, where it's going to be, and the history you have with this event?
Yeah, it's a huge event. It's the All-American 400 at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So really big one, crown jewel event. I'm not a big dirt guy, but the series would probably compare to something like, I don't know, probably like maybe the World of Outlaws, but maybe not that big. But definitely up there for sure. Most competitive short track racing series in North America, I would say. And the best of the best from all over America and Canada are racing a bunch of super late models around anywhere from quarter mile to 1 mile asphalt short tracks.
The Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway is a nasty place, Kyle. And you love it, don't you?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tracks for sure. It's fast, high banked. It's really rough. It's worn out, and just the atmosphere there is pretty nuts. It's right downtown Nashville, and it's always a ton of fun.
Is it not where Darrell Waltrip made his fame? He owned Nashville, I think, back in the day. But Kyle, let's talk about this race coming up. This is a series where a lot of young hot shoes come into this from all over North America to try and get noticed, especially an event like this. How does this differ maybe from an APC event that our fans in Ontario watch on Race America? The distance, how does that change everything for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the Great Canadian 300 we had at Delaware, honestly. It's similar to that. It's strategy is involved. It's a long race. You got to save your tires. There's stage breaks, so it's like NASCAR in that sense that we have two stage breaks, and that puts in some tire strategy. It's a 12 tire race, so we got three sets of tires to go through, and it's just a bit of survival. So I mean, same late model racing, just that length to it and competitiveness, and the biggest thing is making it to those last 50 laps and being there at the end.
How hard is it to because you're not really racing at 100%, are you, Kyle, throughout that race?
No, ideally not. I mean, you kind of hope that you have a good enough piece and you can carry enough speed to kind of just ride comfortably where you're at in the top 10 and just save your stuff, make sure you stay out of trouble and not push the issue on anything until the end. But once you get fighting to, stay on the lead lap, which happens quick and keep your position, then you start using your car up more and you can get put in bad spot. So it's definitely you got to be smart, and you can't just go all out for 50 or even 100 laps like most of the APC races. You got to save your stuff and make sure that nothing happens, that you can be there at the end.
Kyle,
So
I know.
that was,
Go ahead, Adam.
sorry, Clint, that was part one of the question. That's how do you position? How hard is it to position yourself when nobody's racing at 100%? So you kind of want to inch yourself towards the front. How close do you have to be to the front when you get to those 50 laps to go with a bunch of people who are racing not as hard as they can? Like, how that seems like a tricky dance to me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not that. I feel like people are like it's. I've watched obviously the Cars Tour late model stock races, and I feel those races, for anyone who's watched those are like really not at 100%. That's like you're going around racing at 50%, saving tires. I feel most of the ASA stuff is like 85, 90%. It's more just use your head. Don't wear your tires out crazy. Don't be stupid, and just being smart with what you're doing and where you're putting the car. But you're still racing, so I feel it's not as bad, and you can definitely gauge off of how hard you're pushing yourself versus what everyone around you is doing. If they're sliding their tires, they're getting loose, they're being aggressive to try and stay where they're at, then you can kind of gauge. But I mean, if you're able to just ride at that 85% and hold your ground and you see other guys racing harder than you, then you have a good piece. And as long as you're inside, I feel like the top six, you're in a really good shape, and inside the top 10, you're in solid shape for being able to get a top 5 finish at the end of the day.
We watched you race your final points race on the Great Canadian 300, and we covered your pit stall all day because you had terrible luck. That's one of those deals where it seemed like you're riding early in the race and you get caught up in someone else's problem and it just wrecks your day. I want to ask you, Kyle, like, how frustrating is that? Because, with 300 laps, like, someone falls out with 50 laps, you're still the champ, but it's got to be a grind all night, shit dragging on your car, getting black flag. You must have pitted 35 times. Like, at what point does that become a job?
Yeah, I mean, it's not fun, but it's racing. We've had a lot of highs in the APC series, so those lows are going to come with everything. And I was just really proud of my team, honestly. We kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and cautions didn't fall our way. The flat tire that we got really hurt us, and we had to pit under green. And then from there, we wore out the sway bar, so we were racing around without the sway bar for a while, which was no fun. And then my guys worked their butts off, and we got the sway bar back on the car, and we were, in my opinion, as fast as the leaders without half the body. Just the aero was definitely an issue. We were losing half a track to the other cars when we were out of line in our own air. But when I was behind Sheridan and JR there for a while, I felt like I was keeping lap time with them and doing really good. So that shows how good our car was. It's just frustrating when you are just riding there in the first 50 and something like that happens, and I didn't see it at all. So it just out of the blue, and that's racing. But I was proud of my guys for how hard we fought all day.
So, Kyle, you're talking to us from out in the race shop. what are you working on?
I'm actually working on the late model. We left it sit for a couple weeks after the wreck and just took it apart. So now we're getting it back together. We're got a new door on it, and the nose and fenders are going back together. One of my guys has the front window out and is wrapping up a new cowl. So it's all getting put back together now, and getting that process of having it ready to go again. A lot of stuff got tore up, a lot of the cosmetics. So we're just have everything clean, and it's going back together now.
Kyle, when are you going to make announcements on where you're going to be next season? I know it's really early, but the business, I think the higher up the ladder you get, the earlier the business takes care of itself. So, this isn't going to be a January decision for you. I'm sure you got deep talks. Well, what can you tell us, and what can your fans look forward to?
Yeah, it's going to be a huge year in 2026. I've got some big things in the works with APC Auto Parts and Red Jones Racing, Port City Race Cars, everyone I've been with. It's been a great time the last 2 years, and we're going to keep digging together. And I'm hoping to move up and make some starts in a few of the higher series, and getting into NASCAR and some bigger tracks. I'm hoping so. We're working on everything. There's nothing official yet, but there's definitely talks for a big year down south next year, and you'll see me in the APC series. I'm not leaving that either, so I'm going to race that as much as I can again, but making a big push to try and do as much as I can down south and keep chasing that dream.
And Kyle, we know that people can never share their plans until the ink is dried, because things change right up to the last minute. But for a young person whose career is on the right path, like yours seems to be, how far ahead do the conversations go? I mean, is there a 5-year plan in place that if everything fell in the way you want it to, this is where you'd wind up?
Not really a set plan, honestly. I'm just I'm big on taking it 1 year at a time and seeing where it goes. Obviously, I think everyone involved has ideas, and my dream's to race on Sundays, so we all have those thoughts. But everything works its way at a different pace, and things don't always go to plan. So just taking it one race at a time, making the most of every opportunity I get, and seeing where it takes me.
Kyle, did I see your name on the Snowball Derby entry list already?
Yeah, you did. I'll be back there with my APC Auto Parts Centers number 30 again with Port City Race Cars and Rhett Jones. We're going to give it another go and hopefully show everyone what we're capable of. After last year was definitely a tough deal, but there's already 52 cars on the entry list, and it's the biggest race of the year. So excited to be a part of it again.
Does it feel like the biggest race when you're down there? And let me kind of wrap my question a little better, because I heard from people who went down there, and Clint and I complained last week about a dirt race we watched where they're stuck in the 1960s and they do things in a slow way, drag things out. That weekend almost feels the same way to me. Like there's a lot of traditional stuff where they drag things out. Or is it an event that's so big that they can afford to drag them out and let the suspense build up to the big race?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's just so big that they can do that. I mean, no other race you go down on the, like, 90% of the guys are there the weekend before testing, and then you take Tuesday off, and then you've got Wednesday tech day, Thursday practice day, Friday practice in the morning, qualify at night, Saturday last chance race, and Sunday race. It's crazy. There's nothing else like it in asphalt racing anymore, and it's really cool. So I think for them to keep that while everyone else is kind of steered away from it, and just how big the event is, they can do that. It obviously shows when there's 52 cars on the entry list a month before the race that they can do it, and it's not hurting their car count. So I think it's just a huge event. It's by far the biggest event for the short track racers, and to actually be there and watch the trailers go in and out, all the classes, the series, the competition, what everyone's doing is crazy. So if you haven't went and you're a short track fan and you're from Ontario, definitely make the trip down and check it out, because you'll be amazed.
Kyle, it's awesome to see you getting these opportunities. Hopefully everything works out for you. You got a few busy weeks still ahead, man. Do you have a set off season where you're like, okay, I'm not racing, or are you still taking opportunities to the last minute?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take every opportunity I can, but we've got it pretty set. I mean, after the Snowball Derby, there's no real racing until January, so that gives us a couple weeks. But I mean, the following weekend after the Derby, we'll be down at the PRI show in Indianapolis. So then that leaves only 2 weeks before Christmas. So I got a couple weeks off there, and then early in January you're testing. You've got the Daytona test January 16th, I believe, this year. So I mean, you get right back into it, and short off season, but I enjoy it.
Now that you've done it, how boring is Daytona testing going to be?
Yeah, it'll be pretty boring, but I mean it's cool. It's a good time to actually try a couple different things if you can, because once you get to the actual week and it's the Daytona 500 weekend, you only have 25 minutes of practice and you really just want to make sure everything's okay and scuff in a couple sets of tires. So it is good to try a couple things, but as a driver, it'll be pretty plain and simple.
Right on, Kyle. All the best luck. We'll be talking in the coming weeks after you get some results going here.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. We're going to use him up this off season, as we always do, because he's the story. Right, we only have a.
Hey, bring him back. Bring him back. Kyle's still there. Kyle, come back. Have you ever seen The Wizard of Oz? I meant to ask you that because we were talking.
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah. Don't lie to us, Kyle.
No, I watched it in school.
Okay.
School.
All right. That's all you brought him back for, Clint? Really?
Yeah, I wanted to know because we were talking about that and I cut him off earlier. All right, you can go, Kyle.
All right, see you guys later.
Well, Fran never saw The Wizard of Oz.
Such a good kid.
If Kyle saw it, we could have bugged him forever, but we'll let him go. Tough to see him go down in the way that last ABC race because it had such a great season. But man, it's crazy to see the work that night.
That's racing, though. We had that talk. So we had that conversation on the phone this week when we talked about the best car and driver. So say the best team. Every race we go to, the best team has the best chance of winning. That's pretty obvious. Okay, so let's say when Junior Hanley would roll into Cayuga, it's probably a 75% chance he was going to win. 3/4 of the time he was going to win. Kyle Steckley rolls into a race. There's other good competitors, don't get me wrong. Jake Sheridan's great. Josh Stoddy won the championship. There's a good chance Kyle Steckley's going to win that race. And the reason it came up was just talking about the Daytona 500, talking about the NASCAR playoff format, where one of the final qualifiers to get into championship day is at Talladega, where it's probably the worst odds of the best team having the win of any race in all year long.
I still feel that way about the single race championship race because it's still a crapshoot. Anything can happen. A lap car could wreck your day and take you out of the championship. I just think they need, so much discussion on that. I think obviously the light shone bright on the situation this weekend of how a one race championship is maybe not the answer. It seemed like from all the series. So I think you're going to see them alter that a little bit. Obviously, we're not getting away from the playoffs altogether. I like what Christopher Bell said. They were asking him how they could change it, and Bell said he's okay with stage points, but don't throw the yellows. Like, award points at that lap, but let us keep racing because
But here's the
make
trouble.
our own strategy.
Those stage breaks are what saved. Look, it wasn't that long ago. You go back to the 1980s, and there were teams that where third place was not on the lead lap at the end of a race. Wasn't it Benny Parson who won a championship and only finished on the lead lap like twice that year?
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of situations.
Oh, and the reason I was looking at my phone earlier, Cuckoo Marlin was probably the most famous Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway champion. He was the first back-to-back champion. That's Sterling Marlin's dad. Darrell Waltrip got hired. in the late 60s by a driver who retired there. He started to make his mark. Sterling Marlin, of course. Casey Atwood was a phenom who came from Nashville Speedway. Jeff Green. I don't know if all the Greens won championships there, but I know Jeff did. I was doing a bit of Nashville homework.
I just sent Glenn a message, told him to jump on if you can. Yeah, Doug, flying monkeys are part of that movie. Banquet season, oh, don't we dread banquet season.
I used to. Not anymore.
Oh, we still do. No, you're going to try
you do. You do, because it's the only thing for you that resembles work between September and May.
Yeah, I just don't like it. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, too. I do a lot of work.
I know. You work harder.
Do you know how much work we had to work last week?
Yeah, to get, racetrack people work harder.
To get the Outlaw tickets going, which we appreciate everybody jumping on, getting your Outlaw tickets and camping. If you haven't picked them up, you can go to OsheweekendSpeedway.ca and check them out. The banner's right at the top. Get your camping and ticket reservations for Nationals and Outlaws. If you haven't heard, be the same support divisions as last year. It'll be the Late Model Open on Tuesday and the UMP Mods on versus Canadian Mods on the Wednesday. And then Rance will see that. They booked High Limit.
At the next night.
On Thursday. Mary was asking me, will we get anybody to cross? And they really can't cross company lines right now. I mean, Doug told it last week on the show here. He said, if you're a Platinum driver, you get 4 races to go. Well, the 4 races aren't going to be Osher Weekend in Ransomville. They're going to be like the Kings Royal and the Knoxville Nationals and, you know, those kind of races. So I'm not sure what the high limit limitations are, but I know from the Outlaws they have some. So I'm sure if you're a charter guy, you're not allowed to be. I mean, this goes back to the old modified stuff with Cleveland Donnelly. You know, they had those restrictions way back in the day. But what it is good for, Adam, let's turn it into a positive. It's good for our race teams because the drivers who aren't Platinum, Outlaw, or High Limit signed superstars, let's call them, we can bring in other 410 drivers. It makes more sense for a Corey Turner, a Ryan Turner, because why wouldn't they support them all? We are going to be off Friday for Powwow weekend that weekend, so that weekend ties in perfectly. It just sucks because it's like the kart IRL thing where we can't work together enough to make these big, because we work together. I mean, you know, Tanner Robinson and I have been talking from Ranceville the last few weeks about trading off Sportsman and 360s, and, you know, we're a bit farther ahead on our deal because they have to wait for Dirk to finish theirs. So, we'll try and figure it out. Glenn says he tried. I don't know how we get him back.
And that's
did you see him pop in?
And that's collaboration. Tim Gerald, I was going to correct you because I didn't think Cuckoo Marlin, I think, would have been too old to be roller skating. Morgan Shepherd was a gifted roller skater. We've actually shown his video on the show before when we were allowed to show videos.
I'm trying to send Glenn the link here. What else we got?
What else were we going to talk? So here's what I want to bring up about NASCAR. Was NASCAR brilliantly ahead of its time creating the playoff format? Or did they know how big gambling was going to become? Because what they've built is a system that is built for gambling.
Yeah.
They
had to have known it was coming in for a while, right?
So, yeah, but I mean, like, who could have foreseen it growing that big?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's insane what a role it is now. You know, we've been trying to work on a few things. I have been dreaming about a 50-50 that starts Thursday. What do you got?
I forgot. I've been thinking about this for months since I sat at Brighton Speedway one night. Are you familiar with my race pass and the fantasy league it has?
Yes.
Do you know how many people participated this year at Osheweekend Speedway in it?
No.
It's like 600.
Oh, really?
A shit ton of people. It blew my mind because who was I sitting next to that introduced me to it and said, oh yeah, you got to get your picks in. But like, what? Show me this.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. Is there prizes and stuff?
There is, and I really think that we should probably latch on. Like, that's without it being crazy promoted. In fact, I'm going to open my race pass right now, see if I can remember how to get there.
I've been talking about, I would like to get us with the 50-50 starting on the Thursday Microsprint Go-Kart broadcast. Promote the shit out of it through Friday. Wherever we are Saturday producing something, we push it out there. And then we draw the money here on Tuesday. And that could be a huge 50-50. Like the Blue Jays are giving away millions. We wouldn't get there, but can you imagine we give away $5,000 every Tuesday night here?
Dude, the Dundas Legion Chase the Ace is up to like $360,000.
Yeah, I think, and when we're pushing 30,000 views on a Friday night, I think we could definitely push that. So we need to figure that out.
2025 at Ashwaubenon Speedway, Nick Mazzy won, getting less than 50% correct. And
so he played every week, and he raced every week.
200. Sorry, I was wrong. It was 285 teams.
That's
285, right? With
and half the people don't even know what's there. I'd be surprised if 285 people actually paid attention to our race pass some weeks. You get questions about lineups, you know.
And for those of you watching, the only reason this show exists was because of a gambling app. This show was built around an app that had to do with picking, not even picking winners.
Rivals.
Who's going to beat who? Dylan Westbrook or Corey Turner? Pick all the different pairings. Like, it was all in place back in 2019.
You got to figure out how to do that again. Yeah, that brings us to, what are we? Show 293. So in 7 shows, we get to quit, right? We get to show 300, throw in the towel.
Did you create the graphic?
Who's going to co-host with Adam?
Are we going to do this, Clint? Or did we?
What was that? Who should be Adam's new co-host?
No. Who should be the new host of the show? I don't know if there is
hosts.
I don't know if there is an Adam without Clint when it comes to Rivalz Race Chat. The same way I don't know if there'd be a Clint. Like, we have a dynamic that people are used to. We've been doing it for a long time. But we're getting tired. We're getting jaded. When we're here, when we're doing the show, I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it a lot. But some of the in-between, some of the frustrations, you've used some different comparisons that make a lot of sense to me. The time is going to come when one or both of us implode.
It's come close for me a couple times in the last couple months. You know, I'm just like, forget it.
So we're going to carry on for the next little while. And who do we think could do it? Who would be a good fit to
I think if we got to 300, that's the perfect time to just retire as champs.
What does 300 mean? What's 300?
I don't know.
Just a round number.
It's just a round number. It feels better than 298 to walk away from you.
I think McLean and Jackson are on a great trajectory. They don't have enough. Like we would need to stand behind them and poke them with cattle prods to get them pissed off. Because you got to have a little bit of an edge. You've got to be willing to say things that people will disagree with.
I think that's the issue that we have. We have to find shit to talk about in the off weeks. We're like, what are we going to do? And then, thankfully, we cross paths with enough people. Like Glenn Stiers messaged me. I just sent him the link again, but whether we can figure that out or not, I'm not sure.
Send it to Chantel.
I know. I should.
I'd rather have Chantel on anyhow.
All right. We'll give that a shot.
I mean, I'd love, Clint, once in a while we get to talk about, and we're sort of getting off into the weeds here, but could you have imagined when we met back in the 1990s that someone would send us airline tickets to fly to racetracks in different parts of the country to do what we do. Like, it's not even fathomable. If we get to 500 shows, it's going to be because we start doing the show daily. Let's get this sucker over with.
I just sent it to both of them, so we'll see. I said, Chantel, we need your help. Get him on here. I have thoughts for the pre-race show at Oswego going forward. Glenn liked the scoreboard at Oswego, so we're in the process of getting quotes for a new video board with a big scoreboard in the place of ours, 20 positions instead of 5, which would be awesome. Right now, our scoreboard only shows 5 digits. We'll show 20 positions. And as wide as that was, so we're looking at a screen that would be 32 by 18 is what we're getting quoted on, plus the screen we already have now. So I've been talking to our crew, Mike, Spencer, about some ideas where we could put, have McLean and Jack pre-record a pre-race show that leads us up to hot laps every week with, the pre-race stuff, the preseason interviews we caught, some of our commercials, point standings, interviews they can catch. I think that'd be great. We'll back time it from 7 o'clock. So, for example, if they have a 48-minute show, then we'll start at 6:12 and run till 7 when hot laps start. Hot laps will start. We'll run billboards of all our sponsor artwork just on the billboards for a half an hour with a countdown to green flag, and then we'll start right online.
In fairness, I love what we do, and I really always have, especially at Oswego. But I think we have not done a good job with our pre-race potential.
No, I also think we have to be conscious of what we got. Right, we have like this situation here. We have people rushing in from their other jobs on Fridays, fighting Friday traffic. I mean, coming from Toronto through the Hamilton corridor to Oswego at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock is the worst place to be trying to get around. So we can't be overloading the staff we already got. And these guys are trying to skid into a 7:30 open as it is. So that's one thing. That's the hardest task. We've got great people, but we're trying to build these things where it's not going to add anything to Spencer's plate or Dan's plate or Trent's plate. These got to be new self-sufficient ideas that we can make happen with as a little bit of disruptive action from them. For example, Spencer press and play once every 45 minutes works, but we can't have him producing a show when he's still trying to put out fires. So, and why do you put out fires? Well, look at every race, just like a race team, you show up fully prepared, but shit breaks in heat 1. Yeah. It's just the way it goes.
Yep.
Hey, before we get much further, just want to shout out condolences to the Fontaine family. Neil Fontaine passed away today. Jason's dad raced for many years at Humberstone, brought the legacy of the Fontaines there, and of course Jason, and now I see Ryan and Savannah and all them going to continue on. So our hearts go to the Fontaines here on Neil passing away. Pretty sad deal there. So all the best to them as we work to heal throughout the off season here.
You know who we should have had on the show tonight, Clinton? I screwed that up. Kevin Ridley. Kevin Ridley. He is not pleased with his trip to Charlotte.
I don't mean to laugh, but when I saw Kevin out there and I saw the track conditions they had the same track conditions we had when the GLSS came to Oswego in the summer. Track got opened up, it poured on and got soaked, and they could not squeeze that sponge dry all weekend long. And man, the track was rough as shit. And the problem is the sprint cars or the modifieds could have buffed that off, but all those little tire 4-banger cars and stuff they had, the sportsmen were really the only guys that had a shot to get that cleaned off with, right?
And they had less than 20 of them, so you're just not going to clear off the track. But, and I'm not here to shit on dirt car, but there is no reason why that race doesn't draw 60 cars.
It's just expensive. The cost of everything is crazy right now. Spencer, they said they're trying. Is there any way we can reach out to them? I don't think so, right? All right. Chantel says he's on. How do I tell him turn the camera on? Turn the camera on.
Take
We are
us
close.
Oh,
Hey, there we
he
go.
is.
I see him.
I have my camera on and my light on.
You're
Where
the
are you guys?
best. Point at
Parking
the other.
or something?
What's that?
Go ahead, Adam.
Are you guys hiking out in the back 40 or what?
We just left Millbridge. We got
Oh,
picked
how
up
was
on the
that?
side of the road. It was great. We got picked up on the side of the road. We're frozen.
So what? You take 9 vehicles to Charlotte, and now you're hitchhiking out in the dark?
It's
We're
like
breaking up a bit. Let's get to the point of
It
it.
even has GSR
What's
on
the-
the side of it.
Yeah.
What's the plan this week? You got a lot of racing going on, Glenn. Racing all 3 classes at the top classes on dirt. Is that the plan to be in all 3 divisions?
100%. We're ready to go.
So
Cars are prepped. Cars are perfect.
nice. And you good people prepping the cars. Glenn, what is your best shot to have a good run in a feature event? Modified sprint car or late model?
You know what? My whole racing career, I've been red hot and ice cold. So I'm gonna probably guess the modified will be my best. If I was to guess, it'd be my best. I have more laps in those. And if you think about the super modified, I only have maybe 50, 60 laps in that car. And with the 410 sprint, not very many either, close to 100 maybe. So a lot more in a modified for sure.
Glenn, you tested the late model there about a week ago. How did that test go, and what are you going to be able to use from that in your performance this week?
Well, one of the things that I found with that car, I was driving it too hard. Just a little bit too aggressive on the gas. And so when I had come off, they just kept telling me, you're spinning the tires, you're spinning the tires. So that last run of the night, I didn't spin the tires, and we were the best we were all night. So I know what I got to do. I just got to be gentle, put a little eggshell underneath that gas pedal, and I should be fine. I think I'm going to be good.
You've got a good crew behind you, Glenn. Do you have driving coaches down there for the weekend to help watch what you're doing and guide you along?
Yeah, the guys that that we're surrounded with, they have raced with big teams in the past, and they all have experience driving. So definitely going to get some coaching for sure.
You're probably the only guy there, Glenn, doing 3 divisions at once. You're, no offense, one of the older dudes in the field. How do you keep up with this with your own health and your own, mental situation? Because, it's no secret you've had concussions in the past. And seriously, how is it eating? Is it sleeping well? What do you do to make sure you personally are at your best for this challenge?
So first of all, we've been just getting a lot of rest. Really not putting much pressure on myself for anything. Just going, showing up, doing the best I can. You know that I can do 300 laps in a day. I've done it over and over throughout the summer. And sometimes throughout the day, I've had 400 laps. So I think that my concentration level is going to be really, really good. I should be really, really sharp. And again, if I pass cars, if I show that to win me, I think we're going to be great.
Well, we hope you're going to be okay. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, Glenn. We won't keep you much longer. The connection's spotty, but it's been great chatting with you. Did you have anybody racing at Millbridge tonight, or were you just a fan?
No, just Tyler, David Lewis's son, Tyler. So he ran out, represented us, but you know what? He doesn't have any experience in these cars, and but but he had a blast. It was fun to watch him.
Glenn, before I let you go, tons of changes going on at your house area. We're moving the pit signing. Now, people think that's crazy. I see what they got beams through this building. What is going on at the Speedway? I know I want to talk about this more when you get back, but what the hell's going on?
I woke up one day and I didn't like what I seen, so I decided to move it. So now it's just going to be
big changes.
just a nice. It's going to be a nice grassy yard. You know, it's going to be pretty.
There you go.
Good luck this week. Stay safe, boss. We'll talk to you when you get
All
back.
right.
Thank you, Chantal, for making
All
this happen
right.
and shining the light. Thanks, guys.
I see the light.
We appreciate it. Have a good week. We'll be talking to you soon.
It's like the Blair Witch Project.
Spencer, do you got the pictures of the pit sign-in shack with the beams through it? I sent them today. Yeah, they just look. So can you zoom in on that, Spencer? To the beams through the wall. The beams go right through the building on 2 giant I-beams, and we are picking. That's awesome, Spencer. That's perfect. Look at that beam. Goes right through. It's all cleared out, and we're picking that up and moving it across from Glenn's other garage in the parking lot. It's crazy. And then he's picking up half the house and moving that to the other field. It's crazy what's going on. When the fans come back and the drivers come back, it's going to be shocking how the landscape will have changed once again at the Speedway.
I'm shocked already.
Yeah, it's crazy. So World Finals this week. Matt Williamson's been on the program a lot. We'll get him back on next week, see how he does as he chases another Super Dirt Series championship. We'll be working with Doug Lender to try and get us some World of Outlaws Superstar Power next week as well at the end of the deal. So we appreciate those guys both working with us. Let's look at some pictures, Adam. Just have some fun. We sent some pictures through this week. Just cool stuff we see around the world in no particular order. What do we got, Spencer? Yeah, let's look at that. Adam, this came from a collection of box trucks with open trailers. Wasn't this when racing was at its coolest? Like, if you had that set up in 82, you were the shit, right?
Yeah, that's badass.
Like, these are the setups I grew up dreaming about having in my driveway.
So, stay on this image, because I'm going to tell you something. Part of what has affected racing, we have put ourselves into a bubble where we are isolated from society at the biggest levels of the sport. Why is that? Because we tow our biggest classes to the racetrack in giant white boxes that might as well be Amazon delivery trucks.
Yeah.
I understand people's desire to protect their stuff. But when you saw this pass through town, you knew the races were on. I spent a lot of time in Elbridge, New York when I was a kid. My aunt lived right on Route 5, and we'd watch all the race cars coming from Syracuse to run rolling wheels that night, and I would be drooling at the window watching every one of them go by, because you could see the cars. I knew who was going to be there, get me to the racetrack. And I'm not shaming any of these teams. They do what they have to do, but that has not been a good thing for the sport of racing.
No, I agree, and that's why when I saw them, I was like, this is so cool. All these old pictures. And you're absolutely right. That's people pull over, hey, where are you race? Where are you going? What's happening? Right? And that's is a great way to spread the word. To me, that's why I don't have a big issue with Facebook Live at a lot of places. I mean, look, some people go Facebook Live at Flamborough, okay? I do my best to figure out what the hell I'm watching. I can't figure it out. And I know who most of these guys are. It's not ruining the sport. To me, that is hey, where's this? Where does it happen? How much is it? And the person, that's where you get all the word of mouth. But
nobody is staying home so they can watch someone's crappy Facebook Live.
Thank you. Preach that. What else we got, Spencer? Let's look at some other pictures. I don't even know what we sent in. Oh, just back when cars were freaking cool. Look at these wedge late
Oh,
models.
and that's what I
Buy
wanted to
enough
say.
Lexan.
Peterborough Speedway at Autumn Colors Classic. Did you see how many race cars were left out on jack stands? And I'm not talking
At
about
night?
4-banks. Yeah. I don't think the Zardo car got loaded all weekend long. That is a pro late model. Left out, jack stands, throw a tarp over it. Great job by the people hired by Peterborough Speedway to keep things safe. But I just thought that was pretty cool.
For sure. What else we got, Spencer? Okay, this one, Adam. Do you know what this is? Before we go to the next picture?
No.
Guess what that is. Take a guess.
Well,
what
it
is.
looks
What does it look
it
like?
looks like a helmet for a giant Lego person.
Okay, that's a great guess. Does the next picture reveal what it is, Spencer? It's a 3D printed indoor iRacing helmet. Is this cool or super off the charts weird?
No, it's super weird.
So he just wears
Dude.
that to feel like he's racing, and he said his girlfriend might actually leave him over it, which, I mean,
So
if I'm 8 years old, super cool. If I'm old enough to drive my own car, super weird. Is that a fair statement?
Yes,
if I
I'm
got
not
to
gonna.
ride on my BMX as an 8-year-old, I would have loved it. Show it again, Spencer.
If you really want, like, you'd be better off with all the distractions around you. That'll teach you to focus better.
Yeah, maybe. All right. I just had to get your opinion on it. What else, Spencer? Okay, I know we've shown this picture before. But these drag racers back in the day, with the balls, to run that thing on their balls, are absolutely insane. How hot would that rear end get? What if it leaks? Not to mention, what if it explodes? And we thought they were tough because they had the engine in front with oil and fire breathing in their face. But how many rear ends do we see break every week? 2? If you go to 3 nights of racing, like on the dirt? Ooh.
That's insane.
Yeah. Just take it off. It scares me, Spencer. Like, hang on. Just let me slide my legs under the ball obliterator 3 million here. Like, what are we doing to get in the
Good
car?
Lord.
Yeah, the stuff these guys did. Okay, Andy, what else we got, Spencer? There must be a few more there, I think, guys. Oh, Davey
The
Moore.
Canadian Blast.
Davey was in the hospital a while ago. Not sure how he's doing these days, but, man, he was one of the Canadians that went down and whipped some American ass back in the day. All the best to you, Blast. Just a cool picture came down the pipe. What else we got? Oh, look at this. Kind of outside the ODCC body rules, but, man, if somebody came in other than that big scoop on the front, I'm all about this car.
Yeah.
What do you think there, man? That is gorgeous, right?
That's very cool. That's beautiful work.
Oh, absolutely. Spencer, I'm going to send you a video picture right now. Let's see if you can get this one on. This is, Fran sent this today, and I can't agree more. It's the Humberstone Tower, sitting there totally unused. One of the nicest towers in Ontario. Kills me to see it just sitting there, too. Yeah. Look at this. Man, this is what every speedway needs. 8 booths, stadium seating,
That's what
bar area at the back.
Glenn needs to move. Put an
I know.
I-beam through that and move it to Oshwegan.
Oh. Wow, that might be the smartest thing you ever said, Adam Ross.
It's possible.
I know the guys at Rankin, too. Guy Douglas. Didn't we have to talk about Guy Douglas?
I think we did.
Anyways, that got me thinking.
So, through this
We could
off
chop
season,
the top half of that.
right? Why not? Through this off season,
Interesting.
we need to talk about different racing things kind of across the country, pick out some fun topics, give us suggestions, find new hosts for the show. Yeah, we got a lot going on.
Hey, right, step up. All it takes is a Zoom connection. We'll even take you spotty like Glenn was. Anthony did an interview with Dave Bailey. That's cool. Anthony's finally going to take over our jobs and move us on out.
Yep. It's inevitable.
Were there more pictures, Spencer?
It's been a good run.
I don't know what this is, but that's freaking cool, too.
Dang.
I see, like, Jared Fitzpatrick racing something like that in a year or two. He's migrating that way. More and more aero, more and more skirts on the ground up front. Look at that thing. Like,
hey, Spencer.
Like, we need that thing towing through town, getting that, filling up at the gas station.
No kidding. Has our strike come off our account yet, or still no? Wow. Well, you must have done something really terrible.
Oh, what we played. What we can do next week? I'm actually going to a concert next week. I'm going to do it on Monday and play it on Tuesday. Fake everybody out. We're just going to do it on Monday. What do you want to do?
I think we should do it on Monday and pretend it's live on Tuesday.
Okay. I'm going to see Billy Strings. For anybody who knows that is. Christine, Jack, and I are going to go see Billy Strings. Yeah. Being a big bluegrasser, growing up with that and all that, he's, man, the most prolific bluegrasser we got now. But he was on Howard. He's starting to make more of a national presence and just probably the closest thing to a modern-day Grateful Dead. And I hope that's not an insult to Billy, but he played different stuff of different genres every night. I saw they were playing Ozzy on Halloween all dressed up. But, yeah, we're going to Rochester to the old Blue Cross Arena there.
Nice.
Next Tuesday. So, yeah,
there.
we're going to head out. Yeah. So we'll do it Monday, I guess. Who's on the show tomorrow, Spencer? Nikki's back for Gimme the Dirt tomorrow. And, yeah, Josh Stottie's wife. Bailey Stottie's going to be out. Now, I'm excited to see that one, too. I've heard nothing but great things about that, so I can't wait to hear her side of things. Josh is such a great guy. I'm excited to meet the wife tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. for Nikki's Give Me the Dirt. Next one up on deck is Julia Fiore, who is Dylan Westbrook's fiance. They just got engaged, so she's not technically a race wife yet, but we'll talk about what they've gone through planning the wedding and how she's dealt with Dylan's rise. Because, I mean, Julia used to work at the Microsprint go-karts with us pre-pandemic. So we're talking 2016, 2017, maybe 2018. So she's been with Dylan through his whole rise up through the crates and, seen all his 360 wins. So that's going to be a great interview as well. I'm excited to have all these fine guests come on and join Nikki. The other one that's also been working on, who has confirmed, is Jessica Friesen. Jessica said let her get through Halloween, and that was a couple days ago. So we'll start working on setting Nikki up with Jessica Friesen. I think that's going to be very compelling to hear how they've dealt with this. Stuart, his injuries, and keeping the team going, and just what a crazy year they've had. So Give Me the Dirt tomorrow at 8. Make sure you check it out. What else we got? Anything else you want to talk about, buddy, before we sign off here?
Oh, how about those Blue Jays?
Oh, man.
What a ride they gave us.
It's just being a Toronto sports fan. I mean, look, I've been a Bills fan, a Leafs fan, a Jays fan. So they always seem to be good enough for hope to get us to watch at the end.
I coached both of my boys in baseball. That team is the best sports team I have ever seen. Like, that's how you want your players to be. I'm not saying they were the most competitive. I'm saying the vibe. They would have taken bullets for each other. I just thought that was so very cool.
Yeah, I thought they were great. I felt one or two games they were kind of overmanaged. the 18 inning game, I felt like they pulled everybody. All the good players were on the bench. Like you said, the joke was they basically played the Buffalo Bisons for that whole like third game. It just kind of bummed me out there to pull them out. But hey, great storylines, great to the end, great for the city of Toronto. Like everybody was just going crazy. We need something
So
to cheer for in this country.
the other thing I was thinking about, and that's why I sent you that Babe Ruth post. I didn't know Babe Ruth was an orphan. He was left as a ward of the state, and it was one of the Catholic father something who took him under his wing and saw special talent in him. But what the post was about was this kid going to play baseball and being able to play both ways, pitch, play in the field, and knock home runs like nobody had ever seen before. It changed what people thought baseball could be. And my mind works 1,000 miles an hour in the off season. I got thinking, that's kind of what Jordan Poirier and Dylan Westbrook have done for us as sprint car racing fans in this area. They showed everyone else what you need to be elite and raise the level of so many people. Just the thought of, you think Junior Hanley, same thing. Someone who actually changed the way people look at a sport or change what you think is possible just by their own greatness. Now, that's pretty cool when you get to witness that.
I mean, look at how tough the Oshweekend 360 clans become lately. Our 360 guys are tough anywhere, and it was cool for me to hear a guy like Ryan Conium say that. Like, man, you guys built. It's not easy shots to come in here anymore to make it work. So that's why Glenn's got to keep making the place bigger and better and beautiful to make them all come back, even when our guys are kicking their ass. It's been great to see our guys do so well. Hey, I'm proud to say on the Oshweekend front, we know the Outlaws, but we already booked the ESS, the GLSS, the SOS. They're going to kick things off starting at the end of May. Every 2 weeks, we're going to have one of those tours in. It worked out awesome. So starting with ESS, then GLSS, and then the SOS. Been great to work with them. We were able to work around the 4 Crown Nationals because the Nationals are 17th, 18th, 19th this year, September. And the 4 Crown Nationals actually shifted with it, which is so cool because that means our guys can still be part of the high limit and GLSS Eldora weekend, the weekend after the Nationals, because I was worried they were going to conflict and we'd lose the GLSS participation because they'd have to go to a points race. And I wouldn't blame them if Barry said to me, hey, we got to go to Eldora with the high limit as opposed to supporting the Nationals. I mean, that's crazy talk for me to even not figure it out. Hey, let's talk one cool thing that I saw before we go. So I was watching the Charlotte World Short Track Dirt Track Championships this past weekend, and I learned a new concept, and I don't know how we're going to implement it, but they said it wasn't a points race, it was a bonus race. So you didn't have to race it, but if you got a better finish in that than your worst finish, you could swap it out. What do you think of that? So you don't have to race it, and you're not losing points, but if you wanted to improve your worst finish, you could participate in that and use that finish to your point totals.
Yeah, that's got some merit.
Obviously for a midweek race. We always try and figure out what we could do. Like, for example, if the ESS or GLSS, when they come to town, we usually try and make those non-points races because our rules are just slightly different. But that could be a bonus race, per se.
Yeah,
a couple of things we're working on this weekend. We're deep into scheduling talks. It means like every week Mike Morris and I are meeting with someone or other to sort out where we're at. We are bringing back full autograph sessions at our weekend. We're going to do it at least twice. We're going to shut down in the middle of the program and get everybody back on the front straightaway like we used to. We're going to schedule around it. We're going to get creative with some heat races and stuff and make it work. So just trying to make it better all the time.
Yeah, man. It's the name of the game.
The name of the game now is Chicken Wings. Spencer, I have a question for you. If someone logs in now or post this show live, are they going to have to fast forward for 30 minutes or do you chop that out? He'll chop it out. Good man. So we appreciate anybody who hung around on last minute notice. It was great to see 50 of you here waiting for us when we turn on the cameras. It's always great. We appreciate that support. If anything, that's what keeps us going through these weeks. We will see you next week. Adam, anything else you want to add to the program?
No, man. Sorry, my eyes are half closed tonight. Had some contact lens issues today, and I feel like I got sand in my eyes.
Do you have disposable contacts?
Yeah, but I leave them in.
I was going to say, do
Sleep
you ever
with them.
forget them in there?
I sleep with them.
I saw a video where a woman had 26 disposable things all jammed up under her lid, and the doctor couldn't believe as they were pulling them out. Oh! All right.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Spencer, for all you do. We appreciate you rushing home to get everybody our chat. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.
Night all.